If you are from a pharmacy or life science background and are looking for a stable, respected career in the pharmaceutical industry, regulatory affairs is one of the strongest options available today. Regulatory affairs, often called RA, is the function that ensures medicines, vaccines, and medical devices meet all legal and scientific requirements before they reach patients. Without regulatory approval, no drug can be marketed, no clinical trial can begin, and no manufacturing process can continue. This makes regulatory affairs one of the most critical departments in the pharmaceutical industry. To get a job in regulatory affairs, the first step is understanding what the role truly involves. Regulatory affairs is not a laboratory job and it is not a sales role. It is a documentation driven and compliance focused career. Regulatory professionals work with guidelines issued by authorities such as the US FDA, the European Medicines Agency, and CDSCO in India. Their responsibility is to compile, review, and submit scientific data in a structured format that demonstrates a product's safety, quality, and effectiveness. Once you understand the role, the next step is to assess your educational background. Most people working in regulatory affairs come from pharmacy or life science fields such as B Pharm, M Pharm, PharmD, or degrees in biotechnology, microbiology, chemistry, or life sciences. A specialized degree in regulatory affairs can be useful, but it is not mandatory. What matters more is whether you understand regulatory concepts and how guidelines are applied in practice. Learning regulatory guidelines is the most important part of preparing for a regulatory affairs job. Many candidates fail here because they try to memorize instead of understand. You should focus on key ICH guidelines related to stability studies, impurities, and specifications. It is important to understand what CTD and ECTD are and why they are used for regulatory submissions. You should also know the basic difference between ANDA and NDA and be familiar with important FDA regulations such as 21 CFR 210 and 211. You do not need expert level knowledge at the beginning, but you must have conceptual clarity. Regulatory affairs is heavily focused on documentation, so strong documentation skills are essential. This includes the ability to read technical data carefully, follow regulatory formats, and write clearly and accurately. Practicing activities such as creating a mock CTD Module 3 outline, drafting a basic stability protocol, or reviewing a sample regulatory document can significantly improve your readiness. Even self-practice projects show recruiters that you understand how regulatory theory works in real situations. A common concern among job seekers is the lack of experience. If you do not have experience, do not wait for a job to start learning. You can gain exposure by enrolling in a genuine regulatory affairs training program, applying for internships or trainee positions, or working on self-learning projects using official guidelines. Companies value candidates who show initiative and a strong learning attitude, even at the fresher level. When applying for jobs, it is important to target the right roles. As a fresher, you should apply for entry-level positions such as Regulatory Affairs Executive, Regulatory Affairs Associate, RA Trainee, Documentation Executive, or Regulatory Publishing Associate. These roles are designed as starting points and provide the foundation needed for long-term growth in regulatory affairs. Your resume should be focused and relevant to the regulatory field. Highlight your knowledge of regulatory guidelines, CTD and ECTD structure, stability studies, and awareness of regulatory authorities such as the FDA, EMA, and CDSCO. Avoid generic statements and focus on clear, specific skills that show regulatory understanding. During interviews, clarity and honesty are more important than confidence. You may be asked about basic regulatory concepts such as CTD, stability testing, or impurities. If you do not know an answer, explain how you would find it using guidelines. Regulatory affairs values accuracy, responsibility, and integrity. Regulatory affairs is not a fast or glamorous career, but it offers long-term stability, global opportunities, and meaningful work that directly impacts patient safety. With focused learning and the right preparation, getting a job in regulatory affairs is absolutely achievable.